Oh, good morning, everybody. I'm Marion, the Inappropriate Artist. And where am I today? Ta-da! I am back at Elephant Butte State Park. Oh, what a beautiful morning. It's a brief stopover. I'm going to stay here for 2 nights, and because I have the ability to. And I am going then the next day down to town. So that's Tuesday. Oh gosh, I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. I love when that happens. Oh. All right, so I think it's Tuesday that I go down to town and visit with some friends and possibly spend another night, and I have no idea. You know, my plans change constantly. But one thing that's consistent is that I am painting. So, although when I'm on the road like this, I don't get to do very much painting. So, today, what I do yesterday, reason I came up to Truth or Consequences, as much as like a soak was a big part of the temptation to get here, which I'm not even sure at this point that I can get, because the person's place I usually soak at is out of town. But we'll see. But I came to get these little frames. So these are little 4x6s, and then there's, or 3x, I'm not sure, 4x6 it looks like. And then this one is like a big 3.5 by 3.5, or 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And then there's a larger one, and these last ones I don't know that I can make use of, but at least these I know that I can. What I'm going to do with them, I'm not so sure yet, but I did get a friend last night, my friend Larry. Thanks, Larry. Dude, totally always, like, sets me up with art supplies. So, last night gave me this tube of acrylic paint, which is the perfect consistency for painting those frames and sealing them up. Yay! So, because raw wood, as beautiful as it is, doesn't do well, especially like when there's bugs, things like that. And if people are putting them in their tiny homes, it's wood that needs to get sealed. So I just put a wash over it with the acrylic, and that really kind of does the trick, at least temporarily. They can then finish them however they want to match their interiors. So, although that big one kind of gives me some ideas, doesn't it? I might just cover it with gesso first. I'm thinking. Let me think about that. All right. Do you see the smoke? That's me having an idea, or 5. Or I'm crazy, either one. Maybe a little bit of both. What do you think, Muddy? Is it possible? Am I crazy? All right. I am going to finish my cup of coffee. And see where my brain takes me to next. I may pull one of my books out today and work on it, which probably is a good idea, because I haven't worked on the book since the first week of January. Well, no, that's not true. I did go through some different things over the weeks. What I've been doing is putting aside images. So, all right. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am so famous for starting at the end and then like forgetting to tell you the beginning of my thought. So, I'm going to go back to the beginning and tell you the beginning of my thought. So, as I set out 2 years ago, just about in March, it'll be 2 years that I've been on the road. I set out to paint all 50 states. So I paint landscapes and, yeah. So one of the projects, like, I have a Patreon page. So if you want to go check out my Patreon, please do so. The links are below. I am putting together a book or multiple books. And I think it is going to be multiple books at this point. And I am working, I've started this year working on flushing out those ideas, and I'm padding this right now because one of them or two of them are in here. I think, yeah, just the one that I put the gesso on. Alright. So here's the books. It's blank so far, sort of just doing some swatching at the beginning to see what works. And so what I did was I gessoed the front of this with like 4 layers of gesso to get a really nice, like, linen-y type texture, so that I can go and paint it with acrylic or gouache, whatever I choose. I may do both. It might be multimedia. But yeah, I've picked it. I'm going to start. Okay, so I started one book just to kind of get the ball rolling, right? And I've talked about it already before. I can't remember how many videos back it is now. But it was in January. So if you want to find out about it, go check it out. But I started where I was in the moment, and that was leaving Colorado and going into New Mexico. And I was really still fresh in those memories. So I decided to start there just so I could get started, right? And as I worked on that, I started going through back to the beginning of my journey, looking at images like just before I left. So that's where I think I'm going to start this first book. The cover of the book is an image I chose of the reservoir behind my parents' house in Woodbury, Connecticut. It's a place that meant a lot to me all of the years that I lived in that area. Even before my parents bought that house, it was a spot that I would visit. It's a beautiful hiking trail, trolley bed that leads to the reservoir. It's an old reservoir, no longer in use. But a very peaceful spot. And so I decided that that's going to be the cover of the book. And that's where I'm going to begin my journey, I think. And, you know, this, I mean, obviously this is all still at the beginning stages, so anything can change. Although I feel really good about this choice. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started on it and see what happens. Just like everything that I've been doing lately, just letting the universe guide me through the process. You know, wherever it takes me next. All right, gonna stop this right here. See you in a little bit. That's my view, boys and girls, ladies and gents, everybody on planet Earth. All humans capable of watching. That's my view out the van window. I have done a rudimentary drawing, and it's a little bit later, and I'm going to get to work on it. So this is the reservoir in Woodbury, Connecticut, on the trolley bed path I believe Flanders Nature Center bought it just recently before I left. So, oh my gosh, that's almost like 3 years ago now. Well, it was somewhere in there. Anyway, so I know when I went on this hike, it was very exciting to see beautiful new railings and a trail map and a little free library and all those things at the trailhead. It was just, and the trailhead was all beautifully graveled and just gorgeous, and I was really excited to see that because I've been hiking there for over 20 years, and so a lot of fun to see that. Now you'll see, here's the image, and here is my drawing. And as you can see, very rudimentary, but it has the basic forms. I'm not going to take you through the whole process, but I'll show you each step as I go. Well, pardon the lighting. It sucks right now because I have my incandescent on. But I just did the underpainting. It's gouache. I've let it dry completely. I am going to take a break at this point and a deep breath and see how I'd like to proceed. In the meantime, I did this little sketch of my view with gouache on one of these little 4x4 canvases, and I really just kind of love it the way it is. But here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. And a little while ago, that water was like really green. So I'm going to darken this water a little bit once it dries. I'm going to add a little bit of white to my turquoise to get it, and then a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow. I know, I go a little bit crazy with my mixing, but it really makes a difference in creating a very natural tone. So yeah, because all those colors are really in that with the minerals that come into the water down the river of the Rio Grande, because this is part of the Rio Grande. So yeah, all right, I think gonna take a break today for now, get outside, take a walk, and see what I can see. But I'm gonna call it a video and say thank you for joining me today. These are beginnings. Stay tuned to next time or the time after to see how these paintings finish up. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you'd like to contribute to my journey to keep me moving forward and finding beautiful places like this, all the links are below. Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, Ko-Fi. Yeah. And then please click that like button. It makes a difference in my videos for my algorithm. Also, the subscribe button, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. And then once you hit that button, you get you see the little bell. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every single time I put out a video. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.